I'm Johnny Fan, where I talk about all things fandom, such as Harry Potter, Disney, One Piece, whatever, you name it. Let's talk about it. In today's video, we'll be talking about none other than Mr. Whitestash. Now, he's Whitebeard. But why does he have a white mustache? It's not really a beard, it's more of a mustache. So why not call him the Whitestash Pirates? It's like, Oda, what are you doing? Oda's a funny guy. You know, he talks about, the Whitebeard Pirates. Then you have Blackbeard. Blackbeard has a black beard, so therefore he's Blackbeard the pirate. Whitebeard has a white mustache, but you call him Whitebeard. It makes no sense. Freaking Oda even said in SBS that Roger's mustache was not a mustache. That was his nose hair coming out. Anyway, let's talk about Whitebeard. And let's get into it. Because, what if I told you Whitebeard isn't what you thought? No, I'm not talking about the Whitebeard and the stash. No. I'm talking about Whitebeard himself isn't what you thought. So, Whitebeard is this giant dude. We know in One Piece that there are different sized peoples. Peoples. Because we know that even within the Straw Hat crew, like this for instance, Luffy is 5 feet 8 inches. Zoro is 5 foot 10 inches. Nami is 5 foot 7 inches. Usopp is 5 foot 9. So they're all roughly the same size. Okay. Sanji is 5 foot 10. Tony is 2 foot 11. Okay. That's fine. We understand that. Nico is 6 foot 2. Frankie is 7'5". Book is 8'9". Jinbei is 9'11". And then we get to other characters such as Columbus, who is 15 foot 9 inches. And then there's Big Mom, and Kaido, who's just monstrous. So we know that the sizes don't really match up a lot of times in the series. Whatever. We know that Kaido is part Oni. Or from what the sources say, it's most likely that he's part Oni. We know that Big Mom is part giant. We know that. We know she's part giant. But what is Whitebeard? Whitebeard is not as tall as Big Mom. He's pretty damn big, but he's not as tall as Big Mom. Now, in the most recent chapters, we talked about Bartholomew Kuma, who is a Buccaneer. And we learned about this Buccaneer race that is just, in the most recent saga, with the flashback of Bartholomew Kuma, we learned that Bartholomew Kuma is a Buccaneer, which is a race of people that have this huge will. And this will is almost more powerful than anything else, because the Buccaneers worship the sun god Nika, which is a devil fruit that Luffy does acquire. So this will to live and support just goes beyond anything else. They are strong. They are strong-willed and strong-minded and strong everything else. We see this in the most recent chapter when Saturn says that he hit the off switch, but Kuma still has the will to save Bonnie at all cost. His skin is so tough that getting blasted and beaten even getting his face punched in by the magma fist of a kaiju, he still stood his ground and still kept going. So who else do we know in the series that got half of his face blown off and still survived? Whitebeard. In the Battle of Marineford, Whitebeard stood his ground and said, "Do you want? I am not leaving here until you free my son." And people shot at him. People punched him. People did everything to him. They even shot a cannonball and blew half of his face off. Well, a fourth of his face. The anime kind of dulled it down a little bit and just knocked his stash off. But in the manga, they blew his face off pretty good. But he still was alive. He stood his ground and stood there. Could Whitebeard be a Buccaneer with that strong will to survive at no matter what, and that strong body and that strong strength? I think Whitebeard is a Buccaneer. We don't know Whitebeard's weight. We just know that he's a big dude. Whitebeard stands at 21 feet 10 inches. That's insane. 21 feet 10 inches. He could be a mix between giant and Buccaneer for all I know. That's just because no giants have strong body as well, and it just makes sense. Whitebeard is a Buccaneer / half giant. That's it. There was some proof to it, but we'll get to that. After you go to repsports.com, use promo code Johnny Huey and save yourself 50% off. That's repsports.com, REPP sports.com. Pick yourself up some Raze energy and other dietary supplements such as pancakes, workout mixes, all your dietary supplement needs, and your daily dose of caffeine. REPP sports.com. If you look at the similarities between Whitebeard and Kuma, when they both were childs, very similar structure and build. Facial structures similar, body structures very similar, small bottom, big upper shoulders, very similar. Even to when they were adults, very similar body. The only difference is Whitebeard, like I said, is 21 feet. Oh, well, here we go. Never mind. Kuma stands at 22 feet 7 inches, so a little taller than Whitebeard. So both same height-ish, same structure, shallow legs, but big upper body. Very similar body types, almost exactly. Now Whitebeard likes to take his shirt off, and you can see his, 16-pack muscles. We only ever see Kuma in his jacket, but I'm pretty sure he's got a 16-pack too. With that being said, body structure very similar between the two of them. In the most recent chapters, Vegapunk hints that Buccaneers do have other special abilities besides their strength. Such as, like I said, Kuma being heavily injured by a kaiju and everything else when he attacked Joie before he went to Egghead. And on top of that, being beaten by Saturn himself, he still survived. He has his wires hanging out and things like that because he's a cyborg. But besides that, no, he should be dead. Because when he was at Kamabaka Kingdom, Saturn hit the switch, so he should be dead. But he's still hanging out. He still has that will to save his daughter Bonnie. And like I said, Whitebeard gets his face blown off. And still survives. Because Buccaneers have high endurance, high willpower, and strength. Enough! And we know Kuma was a slave at some point because the Buccaneers were taken out. I believe, yeah, because Whitebeard is older than Kuma because Whitebeard was already on Vox's crew and somewhat of an adult when they fought at God Valley against the Celestial Dragons, and Kuma was only a child at that point. So we know that the Celestial Dragons and world government and the Gorosei and all the messed up things they do, they were hunting and killing Buccaneers. So they hunted and killed Kuma's father because he was a Buccaneer and took Kuma as a slave. Whitebeard, being a Buccaneer, same thing. We know that Whitebeard's ambition is to have a family. Maybe because his family was taken away from him, same way Kuma's family was taken away from him by the old government killing off the Buccaneers. He somehow got away. The government didn't find out about it, and he joined the Vox crew, being on Follett Island. Maybe the government knew about that, but because he gave him a Yonko, and he was probably one of the strongest pirate crews in existence, they said, let's back the hell away from Whitebeard. Let's not go near him because his white mustache is too powerful. Stay away from White Stash. That stash is more powerful than you can imagine. Anyway, so it does make sense. Similar body structure, similar willpower. It just makes sense that Whitebeard is actually a Buccaneer. Comment down below your thoughts on this. Do you think Whitebeard's a Buccaneer? Or do you think he's giant? Or do you think he's just a ridiculously tall human that has no other special abilities except for his Quake fruit? And yeah, I don't think so. I think he's a Buccaneer. Comment down below if you agree with me. Hit the like button, hit the subscribe button, and I'll see you guys next time. But before you go, make sure you check out my links down below. Merch store. Hit that join button because there's content that you can only get if you join. It helps me out a lot. It allows me to create more videos like this and will allow me to create more content just for you. So hit that join button. Check out the videos on there that you can only get access to if you hit that join button. And I have more coming. Secret videos that you can only get if you hit that join button. And if you hit the join button, you get access to other videos before anybody else. So, yeah, that's it. See you next time. Again, before you go, make sure you check out that video there and that video over there. And yeah, that's it. I'll see you guys next time.